at the questions on this one because I had a question about iron.
Okay.
My iron levels are at 0 at the moment. Then they are now threatening to make me eat liver or blood transfusion. Other than sprouts, what vegetables do you suggest I eat? I eat a
Popeye
lot
the
of
Sailor Man
food.
had it right all along.
Yes, yeah, that is good, isn't it? Right. Okay. What is going on? I've opened something now. Go away. Oh, I've opened some box now. Cancel. Right. Going live. Going live.
I never know till I'm live until somebody says hi, because so.
I'm live. But my iPad is. We're having some internet problems. I am live. I am live. That was so. I'm going to look at the live chat from the last one.
Vanessa
So,
says I'm back. Okay, hi Vanessa.
hello. Hello. It
Oh,
says I'm live.
I mean
Head
she.
on on.
I hope Chrissy's
Yes.
still watching, and she's just amazing. I mean, that
Yeah.
was what an amazing story, and just to hear her talk about everything she'd been through, and that you could just see you know, see it in her eyes what she's been through, and to see her
Yeah.
make a change like that, and just change her diet and just turn her life around like she has, it's just amazing. It really is. It's legitimately true inspiration story right there. It is.
Yeah. Just absolutely, just completely fantastic.
I agree.
Uh, and it just like all the things that we've been saying, if you eat plant-based whole food, you have less inflammation, you'll have less water retention, you'll have the weight loss is kind of just like the sideline almost, isn't it? But it's the thing that society tends to focus on a lot, unless of course you have an illness,
Yeah.
which makes you look at things, and it's like we want to stop that moment happening for people that are
Right.
heading that way, and it's just really amazing. Yay, V's back, Robin's back, Lindsay's back. Anne had an interesting question. I'm waiting for Anne to come back.
Okay. Was that the iron
Uh,
question?
yeah, it was the iron question. So, any question? Wasn't that just fantastic? That last hour with Chrissy, it was just amazing. I've got four. I've got four on. Obviously, do you know what? I've had a message saying my internet speed isn't fast enough for a good quality image. So I
Well,
apologise, folks.
you look nice and clear over here from what I'm
Well,
looking
that's
at.
good.
I mean, you
It's
look.
just,
I mean, you got good colors. I mean, everything looks great. Uh, so
yeah, it looks, I don't know, everything's doing the whizzy wheel. I'm just turned a device off. I'm just
trying to
turn
cut
everything
back
off.
the bandwidth. Yeah,
Yeah,
we just
it,
recently got high speed here a few months ago. We lived here 5 years and we were still using a DSL. I would start an upload at night and it would finish hopefully by the morning. It would take literally hours and hours. Now I do an upload, it takes 2 minutes. So I mean, it's like, you know,
well, I'm
and
supposed
this
to have
what we're doing
stuff.
now would not have been possible for me at all a few months ago because it just didn't have the bandwidth here. But now I do, so it's much better.
Yeah,
But
that's
you're
fantastic.
coming through pretty clear, so
Well,
I don't know what we look like to you, but it
that's
looks pretty
good.
clear to
It's
me.
just, yeah, no, it looks good. It looks good. We had a bit of a knockdown. Bonnie, hi Bonnie. Lindsay's back. Debs is back. We had a great question from Anne, and Anne, are you there? I've got six on. Yay, Chrissy's back. Woo!
Yay!
Just been blah blah blahing about how incredible it is whilst you've been getting back on. So I think I've got five back on. We had 25 initially. Well, actually, we had quite a lot more, but let's see. Have any of you who are on now got a question? And would you please put it in capitals for me? I'm going to look at the questions that were up there. Although none of them are in capitals. Let's have a look. Still only five on. Any of you guys got questions? Lindsay, you were talking about, I think it was you that was talking about the fact that your family understand the no meat thing, but they don't understand the fasting, what the benefit of that is. And I actually did post up 10 benefits of fasting. I couldn't get in there quickly because it was too many words, so I had to keep editing. Yeah, probiotics, that's my big thing as well. And absolutely everything that Chrissy said about that. I use one that has digestive enzymes, and it's a prebiotic and a probiotic, and it is clinically tested. It works all the way through the gut. And
Right.
Chrissy's very spot on there to get one that actually works, because most of them are literally a waste of money and they die in your stomach. I haven't put that link in. All I've done is had a potty break, and then come back and gone back on live again.
Yeah, we weren't gone very long. We just took a moment to. I think it's just we want to do a break in the video so that if somebody wants to come and watch, they don't feel like they've got to watch 2 hours. If they want to, if they can't, and there are a lot of people that are watching later, and we want to make it so if they want to, watch it in 2 parts, they don't have to, they don't have to try to remember where they left off, that kind of thing. I just think that, yeah. So you asked a question about iron.
Yeah, Anne did. Anne isn't back on, but
okay. We'll wait.
She's not back on. Lindsay is just saying, I know you said it's okay to munch on celery when you need to, but what about peppers for a sugar fix?
Well, I think it depends on what we're talking. Are we talking about fasting? Are we talking about what's safe to do while you're fasting? I think you just have to look up the calorie content. If it's a 0-calorie vegetable, and you just need something to tide you over, then that's why we use the celery and the cucumbers just as an emergency. I really feel like I need to eat something, and the more fast that you do, the less likely you're going to need that anyway. But we're trying to help people transition, so I think that pepper. I don't know. You'd have to look it up.
Very low calories.
It is very low.
Calories.
I think it would be difficult to break your fast by eating, 1 banana pepper or something, but you want to get in the habit of not doing that. So really, you need to kind of make your fasting day needs to be your day to really really develop discipline, to develop your ability to stay away from food and to overcome what you may feel is a need to always be eating. And I think that's sort of what one of the main benefits of fasting is. Lori asked, where do we post the 10 benefits of fasting? I think that if you go onto Sue's channel, she's got them listed somewhere. We did a whole night where we spent and we talked about we listed 10 of the big benefits of fasting. Somebody else is asking too about other foods that don't have calories, and really the only ones I just remember is the celery and the cucumbers. They're basically 0-calorie foods because it actually takes more energy to eat them than you gain from
that. It's the reason pigs don't eat celery.
Yeah, they're smart.
Their point.
There's no point in it.
Lose calories. They lose calories, so they won't touch it. Lindsay hasn't given in yet. Well done. I did buy celery and cucumber today, but actually I had a FaceTime with Debs, and you're quite right. You said that earlier. You distracted me from eating, and I'm completely fine now. And if you're on, give us a comment and let us know you're on, because we want to answer your iron question. Chrissy is just saying she tries to pack her schedule on a fasting day, and it makes the day go past without focusing on food, which is brilliant. I seem to decide to make my husband and my son sandwiches, and normally Wink makes his own sandwiches, but I made him 2 giant, delicious-looking sandwiches today for some reason. But that also worked the other day as well.
I love my tomato sandwiches. I like Roma tomatoes. I've discovered I like them better than the big beefsteak ones. I think they have a better flavor. And so I chop them up and then I stack them and put them on my Dave's Killer Bread, which is just full of seeds and grains, and It's amazing. It's an amazing treat. I do it with green peppers too, bell peppers. Just love
Yeah,
it. Love it.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to do loads more recipes, and some of you said in the last one that you're really enjoying my recipes. I'm going to do a whole load more smoothie ones because they're just so simple, and I lazily kind of veganized myself by having a lot of shakes because I kind of didn't really know what to cook or what to make, and I had Wink to battle with. But whilst I was downing a smoothie or something, yeah, I'd get him to taste them. Oh yeah, that's really nice. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm gonna have my peanut butter sandwich. Peanut butter toast. He's had the same breakfast for 40 years, so that's a massive habit to break. Um, keep yourself busy. Lindsay's saying, they're all talking about what they do on fasting days to keep busy, and that's a really good idea. Annie, you back yet? Anne, have we got you back, or shall we just? Shall we talk about her?
Well, let's save it. I mean, we can talk about it. I mean, basically, it was a question about iron, and she apparently has low iron, so she's looking to see what are her, vegan options for somebody that needs to have more iron. And what we've discovered is that people with mineral and vitamin deficiencies, if once they switch over to a whole food plant-based diet, most of that just goes to the wayside. And so we can talk about that because they're, of the foods that we recommend. Many of them are very high iron, really good sources of iron. So I'm curious to hear where she is with all of this. Is she adopting a whole food plant-based diet or just working toward it? Is this something that's gone on despite that? Because sometimes people have anemia that is iron related, and they and they actually have another problem. They actually have a medical problem that's causing them to lose iron. So sometimes it can be concerning. It may not just be a fact that they're not getting enough. It can be that they're losing iron too. So there are sometimes an issue there. So I'd be curious to know more about what her situation is and why she's so. Yep. Okay. Love you. Bye. Where are you guys going? Wally World. Okay. Bye. Love you. Bye. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
Karen
it will
just
be
brought
really
up something
interesting.
outstanding. I'm sorry, I stepped on you. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. We'll find out more from Anne when she gets back on.
Okay. About the
Julie,
iron question,
yes,
then.
you can do a smoothie, milk, any kind. You can do that. You can have more fruit based. Yeah, you can. I'll look up some. I mean, I did a lassi in my last recipe, which is like a vegan yogurt, which was absolutely delicious. Don't worry, Lynn. It's lovely to have you here. No need for apologising for the time you come on. I know everyone has busy lives, but it's just great to have you on here. It makes it great for us. Alina is saying that she's also anemic. So do you have any more information on why you're anemic? That we could maybe answer that question for you? That would be good. I'm trying to work my new Mac and get the notes up here so that I can put the benefits of fasting down. So yes, I have, but I've got to be careful. Right. I think I can do this. Oh gosh, all the notes have now transferred. That's amazing. One copy. Right, here are some benefits of fasting. Okay, and here are the rest of the benefits of fasting. Draw copy. I'm getting to be a bit of a Mac Pro. There you go. Can you hear me, Jack?
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, right. It's gone really, really quiet. Okay, there are the benefits of fasting. Alina's saying, could it be that she has epilepsy based on being anemic?
Anemia doesn't cause epilepsy.
Okay, there you go. There's your answer. For those of you who are complimenting me on my T-shirt, it's Julie, who's got the little blue icon, Julie Husil, who made them. Wow. So stick your email address up, Julie. I know it's Jet Ski 2 at something or other. I haven't got it to hand. She learned the hard way, no coffee. I don't know what they're talking about. Coffee, cast iron, time of burning in the oven. Uses cast iron cookware.
Yeah, there's several about that on here too, and that is true. That in the pioneer days, when mostly women, I suppose at that time, would cook using cast iron cookware, you actually can get a lot of iron off of the cookware. That is absolutely true. So I mentioned that cook on it, don't nibble it. But yes, it does help.
Well, I think, Anne said she was eating loads of green leafy vegetables. Spinach is packed full of iron. And there's loads of fruits, actually, that have iron in them as well. I mean, some fruits have, are surprising in their composition. I might just Google that and see if I can find anything. But you should Google...
mushrooms are a good source. Mushrooms. Yeah. Any green leafy vegetable is going to be good for iron. And also your beans and what do you call them? Pulses.
Pulses.
Your lentils, beans, pulses, nuts and seeds, and mushrooms. But especially the green leafy vegetables are going to be fantastic sources. On the fruit side, I'm sure there's some. I'm not as familiar with the fruit side being as prolific in iron. But if you're eating a good mix like our 80-10-10, you're going to get plenty of iron. Plenty. So if a person is doing that and they have an iron deficiency problem, then they have something else going on. They have some kind of issue with their stomach where they're not able to absorb the iron. They could have a hemolytic anemia where their body is wasting the iron, it's breaking down red cells. They could have GI bleeding occurring where they're losing red blood cells through the stool and through the gut. So anemias sometimes are a clue, sometimes directly a problem that they're not getting good nutrition with iron or getting B12 or thiamine or folate. I mean, there are anemias that come from nutritional issues, but if a person is eating and has been on some time eating a whole food plant-based diet and they're still anemic, there's something wrong. They have a medical problem that's not been diagnosed, most likely.
Right. Okay. So, Alina says, no, she's had epilepsy since she was 16 and then gone anemic in the last few years. She was just apologizing about the confusion there.
Yeah.
Yeah, caffeine is the devil. Just get off caffeine. It literally doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve your brain. It's very, very addictive. Get high. The energy and the alertness that you believe you're getting from caffeine, you'll have like loads more of that just from eating fruits and veg and whole foods. Your body's designed to give you energy. It's because everyone has such a bad diet that coffee seems to be the kind of the backbone of them. And actually, you don't need it. You can get some really, really nasty headaches coming off it. I mean, Chrissy said she went through 2 weeks of hell, and I bet there were some really nasty headaches and some shakes and stuff like that. It's really cut down on your caffeine. If you absolutely just can't live without your coffee, get a caffeine-free one. I use Nespresso. In fact, there's no coffee in the house. I just don't drink it anymore. Well, I do sometimes, but I don't make it in the house anymore with my lovely Nespresso machine. But Nespresso's coffee is filtered water decaffeinated. Most decaffeinated products you will drink are chemically decaffeinated, which means you just swap one devil for another. But you don't need caffeine, and you need to tell yourself that you don't need it. So caffeine, really, I wouldn't recommend, especially when fasting, just drinking a load of caffeine all day. I think that doesn't sound healthy to me, particularly. Jack, I know you've probably got your hands over your eyes and your ears. Okay, we don't. Yeah, Sherry's trying. Just try it. I don't have any caffeine anymore. I literally, you know, I don't need caffeine. If I had caffeine, I'd probably be like literally bouncing off the ceiling now. You know, and I'm fasting.
I
Yeah,
actually, when I first started,
great.
the whole food plant based, I really had a hard time giving up the. I used to drink a lot of these drinks that were called Diet Right, and they were just delicious, and they were loaded with aspartame, and they were causing me problems. So the DW got me some seltzer water, which was fantastic. I liked having that fizzy. I like the fizzy taste. It helps me clear the palate, and since I've had the neck surgery, I like to blame things on it. But for some reason, when I swallow, I don't feel like I really clear my esophagus like I used to. So I like that bubbly kind of thing because it makes me really feel like I've cleared it, everything okay. So I've gone back to my enjoying my usually just one, sometimes two of my Coke Zeros. And I know that's not a whole food plant based product, but it's 0 calorie and it helps me on my fasting days. So that's my
Okay.
celery. How's that?
It's your
That's
celery.
my
Okay.
celery.
We're none of us perfect, so we'll just we'll. I've got some information on iron, okay, which I've looked up, okay, and so I'm getting you off the hook there so that you can face the camera. Okay. Right,
Did you
these
dye
are the
your hair?
plant-based foods. Hey, Abby.
Hey, did you dye your hair?
Yeah, it's
Did you
blue now.
did you hear the British accent that just came out on this one? Did you dye your hair? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I have.
Do you think she has to learn your accent to communicate with you?
No, I don't think that. That's not true.
She's an accent chameleon. Excellent. Right, so I've got here. These are the things that are most high in plant-based in iron. It's green vegetables, so spinach, beet, and broccoli. Lentils and beans, which we've already said. So your kidney beans and your pinto beans and all that sort of thing. Green beans will have them in as well. Nuts and seeds and grains, whole grains like brown rice. They and then they're mentioning something which isn't something that we would recommend you eat, like breakfast cereals. Like, don't eat breakfast cereals; they're just terrible.
They mention
Dry
mushrooms?
fruit.
Did they mention mushrooms?
No, they haven't mentioned that, but they have said the way to improve the absorption of iron, because whilst we can store it, our bodies can't make iron, so we do need to take it. But vitamin C really helps you absorb more iron. So the foods that are the richest in vitamin C, I always have an itchy nose when I'm doing these. Itch. Okay, so you've got oranges, tomatoes, berries, kiwi fruit, bell peppers, caspiums, help you absorb more iron. So this again goes back to fruits and vegetables.
Isn't it amazing how we get everything we need,
Yeah,
and all we have to do is just eat a varied plant-based diet?
yeah. I mean, literally, nature's given it all to us. We've just chosen to go off piste for about, I don't know, an eon, and add all these other foods. And the food companies who like to make lots of money out of us, fill it full of nonsense so they can make more profit. So, let me see here. I love herbal teas are great. Macadamia white chocolate coffee from Hawaii. Haven't touched it in a year. If you get Coke from Mexico, it's made with real cane sugar. Just get you some fruit juices. Get yourself some fruit juices. They'll give you loads more energy than the can of Coke will any day. And if you absolutely love your sugar, just, add a bit of raw cane sugar to something. The more you get into fruits and veg and healthy eating, the less you'll want to sweeten things with, because your taste buds will alter. The taste of things will alter. You'll actually be able to taste things better as your health and your gut improves. Chrissy is saying, try Mio's. For those who don't care for water, it's a great drink flavor. It has tons of flavor options, 0 calories.
Coconut water is great too if you really want a little flavor. If you like the bubbly stuff, you don't have to be. You can be a little healthier than me, and I admit it. But I mean, if you like the carbonated and you want it a little bubbly, they make all kinds of great seltzers out there, flavored seltzers that are 0 calories. So, it's just up to you.
Yeah, I mean, you can also do. They're called kind of fruit waters, and you can actually make them up the night before. You get like cucumber in water is just divine. If you haven't tried it, try it. Just slice up a few slices of cucumber and just drop them in your glass of water. Completely changes the flavor. It's just delicious.
Really?
The other thing you can do is slices of citrus and stuff like that, and you can actually make up a jug or a canister the night before. You just put all the pieces of fruit in it, and it kind of infuses the water. Then you can get it right out of your fridge, nice and cool, and then you can eat the bits of fruit afterwards. That's really good. You can do all sorts of things for that.
I've never really tried the cucumber water. I've heard, I've seen people drink it. It just never really, struck me as being something that was good. But I like cucumbers, so I guess it makes sense,
Honestly, it literally is amazing. And it's particularly good for people that go, I don't really like water.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, I don't like drinking water. In fact, my cousin's daughter just wouldn't drink water. And she had the chronic fatigue syndrome, was trying to do her A-levels and everything. And I had her to stay, and I said, try this water. And she absolutely loved it. So that's what she drinks now. It's really surprising how different it is without it kind of really being even flavored. I don't know what it is, but try it. You'll be pleasantly surprised, I think.
I will.
What else I've got? Julie wants to know if there's a way of making sprouts so they aren't so strong. Stir fry them with other vegetables. Even Wink's eaten bits of sprout that he doesn't know he's eaten. All this, I hate sprouts. He's jolly well definitely had some. So you can do that with them. Egg substitutes. People are talking about that. So you can do baking and stuff like that. I use flaxseed.
Yeah, you can make like an imitation egg out of flaxseed, right?
Yeah.
You grind it up or something?
Yeah, what you do is, mine's already kind of split. It's not whole. It's kind of, I don't know, slightly mixed. I don't know. So 1 tablespoon of flaxseed to 2 tablespoons of water. You leave it to sit for about 5 minutes, and it's the consistency of an egg. So for every egg you need in a recipe, 1 tablespoon of flaxseed and 2 of water, and that's equivalent to an egg. And I've done it with muffin, everything.
Do you grind that, or do you just mix it? Would you just stir it up with a spoon, or you just...
Yeah, it's already, I don't even know what flaxseed looks like in its full state.
Do you have more like a powdered flax, like a flax powdery kind of stuff?
I tell you what.
Yeah.
Let me go and get it. I can't take my machine in there because it will flip to another router and cut the call off. Give me 1 second and I'll show you what it looks like.
Okay. I don't really miss eggs. I guess I miss sometimes the scrambled eggs I used to have in the morning, but it's not a big deal, so... It's not like me missing cheese. Now, that's something I do miss. But, I've not really noticed that my life is that different without eggs, so it's not a really big deal for me. But I know some people like to bake, and it's hard to bake and be whole food too. But I've made some decent bread in the past that had some almond flour and whole wheat flour, and I used to put chia seeds in it, and it had a great texture and fabulous taste. So, but now that we found, there it is. Okay, so yeah, so that looks almost like it looks like a flaxseed flour to me.
Well, I can't get it on. Can anyone see this?
Can you tilt your Mac, the screen down so it looks at shows your hand better?
Hang on. I can't. There.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's like I've definitely failed the Krypton factor.
No,
for
that's
any
pretty
of you
good.
who-
That's pretty. It looks like it's a flaxseed flour almost.
Yeah, it's milled or
Okay.
milled organic flaxseed.
There you go. So it is like a
Okay.
flour almost. It's milled. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, so it looks a bit like bran.
Okay.
And it's like it does on the spoon there. That's what it looks like.
I think it's
And
interesting.
it makes a great egg.
Yeah.
Literally, cakes, rise, all the things that eggs do, it does.
But you can't just fry it up, right? I mean, you can't scramble it, can you?
No, because it's not an egg substitute. It behaves like an egg in baking.
Okay, it's just really
But,
for baking.
what if you really love your scrambled egg? And I had this, and I must actually get the recipe off my mum, because she did like a brunch, and she bought a very soft tofu, and it was like scrambled egg. It was absolutely delicious. She kind of, fried it with some other things, and it was like a scrambled egg kind of vegetable kind of. It was absolutely delicious. So I shall get that recipe and I shall do that. And I've also found a recipe for a tofu alternative that isn't made with soya. So I shall be doing that as well, because I know a lot of people don't actually like tofu, and it's a really good thing to throw into things if you're kind of missing something that isn't not meat, but that isn't a vegetable. You want something, and you're maybe not wanting to have pulses or something. It's a good thing, and it takes on the flavour of what you're cooking. So I hope that helps. You'll all be able to get flaxseed easy peasy. So that would be really good. Let me see if there are any.
Did I show you when you were here? Did you see our chicken substitute, or did we just go out and have too much steak while you were here?
You got me some meat, and you got me that sausage thing, which
Was
honestly,
good, yeah.
when I actually cooked it,
Yeah.
it tasted like Hazlitt, like
Okay.
a sausage. It was just absolutely delicious. Good old tap water, good for you, Alina. Just, my cousins had keeping water at their wedding. Yes, it's really, really yummy and refreshing. It's great in the hot weather as well. For those of you who are not having a, do you have to be careful? I think if you're going to have it is hard to get it in front of the camera, isn't it?
It's tricky, but I ordered this by the case. Okay.
Can you move it across a bit? I can't see it.
Can you not see it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So this is the only company that I've seen that makes this. These are like soy crisps, is what I would say, but they're called soy curls. And we take them out of the bag, and a half a bag is more than I can eat. And basically, you take these out and you put it in a bowl, and you just cover it with water, and they absorb the water, and it swells up to like 5 times the size of what's in this little bag. And then you can take it and you can throw it on the grill, and you grill it, and whatever kind of seasoning or flavoring that you put on it is what it tastes like. So if you want it to taste like meat or beef, you can. If you want it to taste like pork chops, you can make it taste like pork chops. Just put the seasoning on it. I like to make it taste a little bit like chicken, and I'll grill it, but don't over grill it. Just grill it enough, and then I set it aside, and then I'll make my veggies, and then I'll stir these in, and it's just absolutely fantastic. And sometimes I'll make like a little flour tortilla, not a flour tortilla, but a spinach tortilla, like a fajita, like what we call fajitas here.
Yeah.
So it can be, and when I make a big batch of it. Half of this bag will feed everybody in the family. You get like I can't remember, like 30 bags or something for $120 or something like that. I get this great big box delivered off of Amazon. It's the only place I've been able to find it. And these are really good. So I mean, if you like doing substitutes, these are non-GMO, completely organic. They are soy, so if you don't want soy, well, then this isn't your choice. But if you want to have something that has the texture and consistency of meat to go in with your veggies, try these Butler soy curls. And I don't think you don't have to buy a whole case, but it's cheaper if you do it that way. But anyway, just want to throw that out since you're making eggs out of flaxseed, I'm making chicken out of soy. How you like that?
That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant, because especially when you're transitioning, you do miss things like that. Absolutely. Someone says you can use the liquid from a can of chickpeas can be used in place of eggs. I haven't heard of that.
I haven't either.
But I've also heard that you kind of shouldn't really drink the water that's in tins. But
Robin also said that applesauce serves as an egg substitute.
Really?
Yeah.
You probably actually Google that. I think if someone's asked if I made a quiche with it, I don't think the quiche would come out real good, because the thing about a quiche is that it's mainly a load of egg. But I expect you can make quiche using cashew nuts and something else. I'm pretty sure, because the like a vegan cheesecake is made with the cream is made with nuts and stuff, and it does set. But I think they might use agar powder in that as well. But I'm going to be making some stuff like this. Chrissy can't do with tofu. Can't do without, or you don't like tofu. My recipe's a chickpea one.
And I'm getting lots of questions about soy and women and the hormone thing, and this comes up from time to time. And there are entire societies of people that eat a lot of soy, and they don't have any increased risk of cancers or hormone problems or anything like that. I don't think soy is an issue. I'm sure that it can be refined and you can get estrogen-like products from it. But if you're using soybeans, if you're having, what do they call it, edamame, for example, aren't those soybeans?
Edamame beans.
Yeah, that's soy. I mean, it's a good vegetable, is what it is, and it so easily lends itself to being made into other things that you find like tempeh and tofu and all. That's all soy. That's all it is. But it's a kind of bean. And that sausage product that you had when you were here, that wasn't real sausage, that was all plant-based, that was a bean-based product. And doesn't necessarily have to be soybean, but in a lot of cultures where they eat a lot of soy, they've learned to really make things out of soy. We've not really done that with different kinds of beans, but we've got some imitation hamburgers that are full of black beans and all kinds of tasty, just delicious things. I throw it in the microwave and make a little imitation burger thing out of it, and it's good. And these are all beans. These are all different kinds of beans. And if you're worried about soy and it bothers you or you're concerned, then just cut it out. I mean, you have lots of other choices. I don't think it's a problem at all. So
I think it all came to light because this soybean is one of the most processed and GMO kind of
Now these
foods.
Absolutely. This says
a good one.
Non-GMO on it, right there. So this is non-GMO. No pesticides, and basically the ingredients are whole non-GMO soybeans. That's it. That's all you have.
So that's going to be great. It's because I think a lot of it is highly processed. It's GMO. It's got pesticides and stuff on it. And I think that's why it got a bad name. And then, of course, all the hormone stuff. But there is completely counterbalancing research that's been done now that said actually soy is one of the best things that you can eat.
There you go.
So just that's probably worth getting an organic source rather than a highly processed source.
Especially when they're cheap. I mean, I realize that a lot of, we talked about this before, the extra expense of getting something that is organic versus non-organic. You have the organic bananas that are 3 times the expense of regular bananas. I just don't think it's worth the extra money. But if you do and you're that particular about it, that's fine. But don't use that as an excuse not to eat vegetables and fruits
Yeah.
because you think that they have to be super organic and all this and that and make them 3 times as expensive. It's not necessary. It's just not.
No, even the Fruitarian festival that I went to last year, and I shall be going there. That's going to be great fun for you all because some of the most incredible people are going to be there when I go next year. But they can't get organic. It's just you can't buy it in the quantities. It's just they just don't produce enough because the producers can't make enough money selling it. People don't want to pay, 5 times the price for an apple that's that big because they're used to ones this big that are all perfect. So it's, better to eat a banana than not eat a banana. I actually do buy organic bananas because they taste so much better to me. I feel they taste better, so it's worth me paying a tiny bit more for those. But that's my personal preference. But I don't buy organic stuff. It costs a fortune.
Right.
I don't buy GMO stuff. I try not to buy GMO stuff. And I buy from my local greengrocers as much as I can. But even that's like really expensive as well compared to the supermarket. But I kind of don't really trust my supermarket at all, to be honest. I'm like very skeptical about everything in a supermarket. But that's just me. Okay, better to eat fruits and veg than a packet meal or a load of stuff that isn't fruits and veg, basically.
That's right. I had a request for the brand of that imitation sausage. It was a lot like what we might call a Jimmy Dean sausage. So it was a package, and you could slice it or you can crumble it. And I'm trying to find a picture of it because I'll recognize it if I do. But we found it right at our little Kroger. It wasn't a big deal.
Right, I have the lovely Sandra. She's apologising for it being off topic, but so hi Sue and Dr. D, this is a bit off topic, but very important to me. Tuesday, my doctor told me that my test came back positive for colon cancer.
Oh, that's awful.
I know, that's so awful. I'm so sorry for you. Do you think that eating vegan could possibly help? Very scary.
I think that if you go and you look at these cancer centers that are out there, that one of the first things they do is they put their patients on a whole food plant-based diet. It's amazing that when we wait until we get sick and then we go into a cancer center where they have like a multifaceted kind of approach where they do everything from yoga and meditation to changing the diet to a whole food plant-based, plus they use cutting edge therapies. It's amazing that they do that. So do I think that changing your diet and getting away from proteins that are carcinogenic to whole food plant-based, which has been proven to reduce your risk of cancer, do I think that's a good idea? The answer is absolutely yes.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I can't find that sausage, Leanne. But next time I get out there, I'll try to find it again. They just had one package of it, and it was just like a little Jimmy Dean sausage size. But I don't see it online here, and so I don't want to tell you something that's not the right stuff. So I'll try to look that up soon for you. But I'm sorry about the cancer diagnosis. Was it just a cancerous? I would like to know, was it a cancerous polyp, or do we have has the cancer invaded into the colon? Is this potentially resectable? I mean, there's lots of questions that need to be answered because if colon cancer is found early enough, oftentimes it can be resected during a colonoscopy if it's just a cancerous polyp. But if the cancer has invaded the actual colon itself, then that's an indication for surgical removal of that portion of the colon, along with possible lymph nodes and a lot more to it than that, I'm sure. But that's important to know, and I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah. It's sad.
Well, we're certainly giving you our prayers and all our positive vibes, sweetheart. If you want to give us a little bit more information, just like Dr. G said, that will be fantastic. We might be able to help you a bit more. But you know, literally right now, I don't know what your diet is at the moment, Sandra, but I strongly recommend just go plant-based whole food. Just it's going to help you.
Yeah.
It's going to help you a lot, and it'll also help you with the stress of coping with the emotions that come with this and the fear that you must be experiencing. It really, really will help you. It will help you be strong and cope with whatever's to come. She said, thank you so much. Pardon my typos and no caps. Furthest thing from my mind right now is my phone settings. Lol. Bless you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
That sense of humour will carry you through, won't it? Absolutely will. If you've got any additional information you want to add, we'll definitely address that for you. And you're welcome. I don't know if you're, if you've connected with me on Facebook, but if you want to PM me on Messenger, you're more than welcome. Oh, you are, aren't you, Sandra? I'm recognising your name now. Sorry, you are friends on Facebook. Do PM me if you need any motivation or anything. Just PM me, sweetheart. Chrissy is totally agreeing with you on something, but I'm not sure what she's agreeing with you on. Any other information? Any other questions? Chrissy's looking forward to my shepherd's pie. It was delicious. The one that Wink cooked for me. It was just lovely. I scoffed way too much of it down, actually. Yeah, the whole overeating before fast and after fasting is not so good. I need to get that under control. Have you got your overeating before and after fasting under control at all, or minimised, Jack?
It's a daily battle with me. I like to eat. I need the fasting to maintain. I don't, it's just the way it is for me. I need to learn to eat more fruits and vegetables and less grains. And I think I said that at the beginning of the
you did.
I really need to, a lot of it is just spend the time doing the preparation. I think I need to devote a little bit more time to getting ready for the day. It's so easy for me to slip into, getting that whole grain bread and then slicing something up and putting it on there. Usually it's a tomato or a pepper or something like that. And that's certainly, I'm tremendously healthier than I used to be, but I think I can still do better from the weight standpoint, because I'd like for it to be easier for me to keep myself under 200, which I still am. It's a lot of work, because on the days that I do eat, I let myself eat. And I think that if I would let myself just eat and focus more on the green leafy vegetables and things like that I know that are, okay to eat all I want, I would probably drop a few more pounds, and it would be easier for me, and probably at some point wouldn't have to fast twice a week. But for me, it's maintaining my control over my food addiction by completely depriving myself of any foodstuffs 2 days a week. Is it working? Yes. Does it require effort? Some. It's not as bad as it used to be. I'm not particularly hungry, and I haven't eaten today, so that's nice. So my body seems to be able to adapt okay to the days that I don't eat. But on the days that I do eat, it's like it turns the furnace on. It's like, feed me. I earned it. I want it now. And so there you go. I'm doing admitted overeater. I like to eat.
Absolutely. Sandra is saying that she hasn't received all the test results back yet to give the information you asked.
Okay.
So that know that.
But she has my prayers, and I pray that the results aren't as bad as she's believing at this point, and hopefully it's not going to be a huge ordeal for her.
Yeah, absolutely. You're in our prayers, and do let us know. Beck is saying, hey, Dr. G, have you got a nickname for Sue by any chance?
Sue came with a nickname. It's SU. I mean, you just can't beat that. She doesn't have an E. She doesn't need a nickname. She's already unique.
I'm already unique. Aww. Thanks. Susan is asking, I made some flatbread the other day. Have I made a loaf? I did make a nut loaf, which was absolutely delicious. And I tell you what, one slice of that, just keep you going for months and months and months. It was very tasty. I could make that again, actually, for you. I haven't found a successful kind of loaf that I can make, but I'm not much of a bread eater. I like the flatbread because it's really nice with hummus and stuff like that. But I'll look into that. Green hair. Well, it's supposed to be blue actually, but it is fading to a bit of green.
It looks pretty green from here.
It does, doesn't it?
It
Lots
does.
of people keep saying, "Oh, green hair," and it's like, no, it's blue.
No, it's green.
But it looks green, does it?
Definitely
it looks green.
green.
When I do that, doesn't it?
See, hold your blouse up a little bit there next. See, your blouse has blue. That's blue.
Yeah, but it's a different
the
blue.
And then you see the green on your blouse. That's what color your hair looks like.
But look, does it not match my nails? Look.
Well, your nails aren't blue either.
Well,
They're more aqua.
Anyway, thanks, Sandra. I'll look out for your message. Right. I've got to get some more blue in my hair.
Get a little more blue in there. That's all. That's all we're saying.
Yeah,
we don't have a problem with green, but if you're thinking that you're blue, we need to work on your colors a little bit because it's definitely green.
I've been eating too many green things. It's turned my hair.
It's turning your hair green.
That was just a joke there, just in case anyone thinks there's anything. What you eat prior to fasting will affect hunger, especially anything carbs for Dr. G that break down glucose and make it harder. Have you tried protein shakes?
Me?
Instead of bread?
No.
Okay. Just throwing it out there with like avocado.
I love avocado. I'll eat that too.
Really?
I'll eat bananas, avocados, tomatoes, greens. I'll eat lentils. I'll eat bean soup. I'll eat all kinds of things. The problem is I'll eat all that and eat the bread.
Right.
Yeah.
How about not buying the bread? How about just not going and buying it?
That's what I need to do is I need to not buy the silly stuff, and I need to just really focus on getting back to, making sure I get that 80%. I'm not hitting my percentages like I should. I'm eating too much in the grains and too much delicious bread, and it's a weakness, and I admit it, and I'm fighting it, and for me, fasting is helping me with that, but it's not a cure. This is the we've talked about it before. This is the one addiction you just can't give up. You got to eat, so you just can't completely give it up. You have to manage it. You have to eat with a purpose, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do. But it is a battle, and it is on the days that I eat, the easiest days of my week are Mondays and Thursdays when I don't have to eat. I don't have to worry about what to feed myself. These are the least complicated days. The days that I actually do eat are the days that, they're the days that I'm eating too much bread. And for me, the fasting is just balancing it out. So, I'd like to cut that back and be a little bit healthier, I think, by focusing more on the greens. And I'm really excited that your guest coming on Monday is the raw vegan, because I think that could be a solution for me, is to learn to enjoy more raw vegetables. And I'm looking forward to that.
The food was exquisite. We've got a lady called Alicia coming on Monday, and she is one of the world's leading raw vegan chefs. She she prepared all the food at the Fruitarian Festival I went to, and it was exquisite. It was absolutely delicious. Like one night it was like taco night, and it was just like eating tacos full of, you know, chili, and but there wasn't any chili in it, but it was just incredible. Spaghetti and everything made out of fruits and vegetables. It was just awesome, absolutely awesome. So I'm going to be speaking to her morning. She's 2 hours ahead of you, Jack. I'm going to be speaking to her.
She's in California or Oregon or West
Coast?
Yeah,
she is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she's in California, and but she did some of her training in Texas, Austin, Texas, and she's run some amazing restaurants and stuff. She's absolutely amazing woman. So I'm going to have a chat with her tomorrow morning. She just wants to know a little bit about who's in the group and etc. So that she can be of the best help to us. She'll certainly have some fabulous recipes, things to like jazz up your salad so that you know, it's just like, you know, like pasta dishes that aren't pasta and just stuff like that. So yeah, it will be really exciting to speak to her. And I've got loads of other people to talk to as well, to invite on. But it's going to be fantastic. She's really, really excited.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be brilliant. Susan, Forks Over Knives has some great recipes in it. If you Google vegan recipes, you'll find loads.
They actually have a whole cookbook. I think you can buy an entire Forks Over Knives cookbook.
Yeah, I think there is one.
Yeah.
Fasting and plant-based and raw veggies does. Yeah, raw is amazing. In fact, I'm going to speak to. She's called Fully Raw Christina, and I met her at the festival. She is just like, she's just got millions and millions and millions of followers, and she was type 2 diabetes and had a whole load of other nasty health issues by the time she was 14. You'd never know it to look at it now, and she has been fully raw for 14 years now. She's incredible. I'm going to try and get hold of her.
Yeah, she really was ahead of her time, wasn't she? That's amazing.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely, yeah, just incredible. So yes, I've lost weight, Chrissy. I've lost 8 pounds. I haven't lost any weight this week. I lost it over the first 2 weeks, but I know I'm feeling smaller, so I think I'm converting fat to muscle, which takes up a lot less space. Yes, I do use an excellent shampoo, which is why my hair color is there. I will post a link in the comments for you.
Nobody cares about my shampoo.
No, but you've got a hat on. They're not going to notice your shampoo, are they?
I actually use a generic tea tree shampoo is what I've always used, or have been using for the last few years.
That's good.
Yeah.
Tea tree's excellent.
That's good for you. So.
Susan, Sue posts recipes very often for shakes and curries, etc. I'm going to start doing more shake recipes because a lot of you are asking about that, and it is like the ultimate fast food quick thing. You know, we're all rushing in the mornings, trying to get out the door to work, sort the kids out, all the stuff we've got. You know, we're always, wishing we could have a bit more time in bed and like staying in bed to the last minute and then doing a bit of a rush job. Wink gets up and literally is out of the house within about 18 minutes of getting out of bed, and eats two bits of toast. And it's a very, very quick thing. All you need to do is have stuff, and you can even have stuff in your freezer.
I have to go.
You have to go.
I have to go because Abby reminded me that I promised to take her over to PetSmart, and they're getting ready to close. So we have to call it a night. I've thoroughly enjoyed the discussions tonight. Thank you, and I look forward to Monday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. So I will see you.
Okay.
Good luck. Have good fun over the weekend.
All right.
And I will sign off shortly.
All right. Well, you guys go as long as you want, but I'm going to have to go. So I've enjoyed it. And as usual, come away inspired. Chrissy was amazing. So
Absolutely.
I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
Bye for now.
Excellent. Okay. Bye, Jack.
Bye.
Lots of love.